right, thanks for staying with us here on the show. It's time for us to get into our next conversation. And we're talking entertainment here on Entertainment Review on Prime Morning. And today we're going to be looking at the President's State of the Nation address on the creative arts. And that's what we're talking about. You can send your messages to us, let us know what you think. And you can also go on Facebook. We're streaming live over there. Our WhatsApp line is also active. You can also send your messages over there and let us know what you think about the creative arts and what the President said he was going to be doing when, the finance minister is done. Would be analyzing that also and see if what all that he said has been factored into the budget. So, yeah, in the studio with me this morning, I have over here Robert Clark. He's head of events communications for Charterhouse, and also my dear Akofa Edjeani is here with us this morning as well. He's a Pan-Africanist, culture activist, actor, producer, and she's also in the chest of a woman. And of course, Dr. Kwesi Enes is here with us this morning as well. He's a music executive and also an artist manager. Doc, Akofa and Robert, good morning. How are you all doing?
Morning. We're good.
Yeah, fine.
And we're hoping that we'll also be joined by Mr. Francis Doku. He's also CEO of Plug-in Digital Limited and the host of the Africa Rising podcast. As and when we're able to have him, we'll let you know. But yesterday, the president spoke a lot about so many things. Before we get into that, though, before we got into President's speech this very week, we had Honorable Member of Parliament in the person of John Dumelo, who's also the Deputy Minister for Agric now. He's going to go into approval, and then the President will swear in. Now, something happened at the vetting, and I wanted to look at it and pass our comment on that quickly. So let's take a look at what happened at the vetting committee.
If you go to the ministry, try to assist your minister. The ministry is it's big, it's huge, and you should not try to jump the gun. And also note that when you go to the ministry, you are not in your movie industry as you are. Try to be as serious as you can so that you can be able to assist your minister to succeed. I thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I congratulate the nominee. If you go to the
So those comments from Honorable Habib Idrisu sparked a lot of conversations on social media and in the creative space. A lot of people thought that he belittled the job of a creative person. I don't know, but I'll start with you, Akofa.
Why are you starting with me?
Because you're in the chest of a woman. I'll drum into end this show. Anyway, but what do you make of it? Are you disappointed hearing this?
Very disappointed. I mean, he owes us an apology, I think. He is. And it would be good if you render an apology to the creative.
Some have called for it, so now he hasn't.
You see...
Is that also a disrespect in some form?
It's just pounding on the disrespect that he has for our crafts, you know. I kind of feel sorry for him, though, for showing such ignorance at that level in public, showing such ignorance. It's a shame. Our policymakers, most of our policymakers really don't understand what we do. They don't understand the creatives. They don't understand what we bring to the table, the creative economy that we generate, our contribution to the GDP, our contribution to general well-being. It's just like, because what we do is non-quantitative. You can't really put a price on it. You can't put figures to it. You know, apart from the monies and what we bring as fiscal cash. The thing we do for the psyche, for the soul, for the nation, they don't have a grasp of it,
and that's why people's hopes.
Yes, they seem not to know anything about it at all, and so I'm not even surprised that our sector minister is not in cabinet. In Rawlings's time, he did have a cultural advisor, and. The Commissioner on Culture, I think Dr. Mohammed Ben Abdallah at the time, he was in cabinet. He wasn't a minister, he was a chairman for the Commission on Culture, and he was in cabinet because J.J. Rawlings understood the importance of culture. And that is the being, is the soul of a nation. It's the foundation that you build everything on. And so when your foundation is weak, everything will come crumbling down. And that is what has been happening to us all these years. We leave our pots and watch, and then we cry when our food gets burnt. And our food is burning every day because we are not paying attention to the basics and the fundamentals. So if he's the minority chief whip, how can someone like that make such a statement? I mean, it's unfortunate, and I think the right thing for him to do is to give us an apology for this.
Doc.
Yes, boss.
There was cause for the Honourable Minister to speak on this issue. Until now, we have not heard anything from the Honourable Minister for our creative space, culture, tourism. Are you worried that we've gotten to a place where we feel that a certain voice should have represented us and we're not hearing that?
Well, KMJ, comment like this, a comment that when you hear as a creative person, it actually depresses you. And it defeats everything that you've done for all the years. All the efforts Robert is putting in for bringing all the pageantry for the TGMA, all the stars that are coming. Whenever you see a whole majority chief whip, coming up with such a loose talk, it becomes very, very offensive and disrespectful. This is a loose talk. And we have to look at his face and tell him the truth. It's a loose talk. It's a total loose talk. And there's no way trying to even polish the language or whatever it is. You see, I think that the Honorable Chief did not actually consider the heaviness of the statement he was making. It was one of those jokes that he tried. I don't know whether he was trying to, because to look at John Dumelo, did he actually find out what actually got John Dumelo to even to be elected as an MP? I'm not sure he did his own background to even find out how John Dumelo became an MP. It is through the creative art, through the acting, he became popular. He caught the eye of the party, and the party supported him, and they think that this is a person who has been on screen for years, and he's got the numbers, he's got the face, he's got the people. So let's give him the support so that he can become an MP to represent us. And through that, the president saw the need and then decided to even give him a further push by nominating him as a deputy minister for agriculture. You should go and read background of people. So when you sit down and say that agric ministry is a serious industry than the creative art industry, hello, I did agriculture in school. And if I tell you where creative art has taken me, Questionnaires to in this world, if I was to be in the agriculture sector, I would have gotten there. Let nobody, I'm saying that, look, if anybody tried to disrespect creative people, we need to, if for the purpose of camera, we should be visiting their houses and be warning them from some of these loose talks. Where creative art has gotten me to, creative art has gotten me to. If I was to be in agriculture, and I had A in agriculture in school, even in my A levels, I had A. So when people look at it like this and say, be serious when you get there, is it saying that we are jokers and you see KMJ?
Yeah.
This is how the politicians, this is how they've circled the creative arts in their mindset. This is what they are carrying each day. And when they see some of us, for some of them will respect. They see us and they hug. Oh, Akofa, come. My wife loves your movies. Then they come and give us a. That's all. Okay, Robert, can I get a complimentary card? When they want to bring their girlfriends to sit at the front, then they will be calling Robert for a complimentary ticket and soda. But trust me, that is the cap they've been carrying. And it's important for us as creative people, especially leadership of creative art, to begin diffusing some of these conversations and some of this thinking.
But your leadership has not spoken yet. Your minister has not said anything yet.
Well, maybe the minister just took office and so she's busy managing a lot of things, trying to put her house together.
Is this not also a serious,
but I'm saying
that
Madam Jifa, wherever she is, she's part of us, must call that honorable member and issue a statement on this effect. KMJ, whatever we do to impress on that majority chief whip, to apologize.
Not minority, by the way. He was a majority second chief whip.
I'm saying that whether he is minor or major, whatever, all the keys he's playing in the parliament there, whatever we have to do for this man to apologize to the creative industry, we have to. I'm telling you, if we have to wear red arm for that man to see the seriousness and the insult and the ridicule he's put the creative art through, we need to. It's the right time certain things become business as usual. We let it pass like that. Because this man is a minority chief whip or whatever the title he's carrying. And look at the power, look at where he sits. If such a person is sitting in where they make policies, these are policy areas. This is the Parliament of Ghana. This is where policies are initiated. This is where budgets are allocated. This is where things are done. If that man sits there and sees us as creative people as jokers, do you think that even if we submit a budget and we are looking for $70 million to develop the creative art, he will approve it? He won't. He will not approve it. That is the seriousness of the conversation. If this man even sees that, that's why, look at the budget creative art gets. Go and do references and see the budgetary allocations to creative art industry. This is how they see us. And we need, it is time for creative art people, and let's stop all this conversation of this person, Robert is an NDC creative art paper, this person is an MPP person, and all that kind of thing. It is time we need to align our strength and forces together and prove to the politicians that our industry is not a joke.
Okay, thank you. I'll come back to you again, but let me go to Robert. Robert, if you look at the trajectory, and because you spoke about jokers and all of that, we're not serious and all of that. If you look at where we've come from and where we are now, it's as though we've been comedy throughout. Because, first of all, she spoke about how we're not able to put figures to what we bring to the table because we've not been able to. The last time we did was music and boy and these people we do. Even that one, the figures we had was not encouraging. Again, you see people die and they have to, in this creative space, and they have to beg before they leave this space. Have we not put this space we are in by ourselves? Is that not where we position ourselves?
There's what you do for yourself, and there's what people need to do for you. So far as I'm concerned, I know the creatives have, and they keep doing their best to project themselves, to get to all the international platforms, to get the exposure required to be able to go. However, we need to understand that when you take the creative industry, let's say there are 4 key areas. We have the parts, so the first aspect is where the creatives are. They would excel artistically. Then we have the creative businesses. The businesses are responsible for running the economy within the creative industry. So they put the creatives in the forefront, but they run the business thereof. Then we have the business professionals, who are people employed within the businesses to ensure that the creatives are able to project themselves in terms of whatever we want to do. So for these professionals, for example, we're talking about accountants, we are talking about brand experts, we are talking about publicists, we are talking about, because to name them, all of them, the entire chain of business managers are working within this particular division. Then we come to the fourth leg, which is the support system. Usually there are things we can't do for ourselves. And that is where you usually want to ask governments to be able to come and provide that kind of support for you. So if, for example, SNIT, which is responsible for the contribution of everybody's pension. Yeah. And so by virtue of the fact that you are employed in a formal institution, they pay your SNIT contributions every month, and it is mandatory. Then the person who is in the creative arts, who by virtue of the fact that the person belongs to the informal sector, even though SNIT is mandatory, they are not part of it. So by the time you are retiring, there's nothing for you, which means that the structure has been made for those who are not in that particular sector. So that structure doesn't exist for us. You understand? So if at the end of the day anybody is able to excel in that field, it's not because yes, of course, the person is smart because they did that, but let's also appreciate the fact that while you are getting your SNIT contributions sorted, it wasn't because you created it. It was because the government created a backbone for you.
The system is providing that support
so let's always appreciate the fact that there are systems that government is the responsibility of government. The government needs to look into it, and then we also need to appreciate what we need to do for ourselves, and that is what we are supposed to do. It's a four-legged platform when it comes to the creative arts, and we need to ensure that each leg stands properly. You understand? So if you're asking about where we've come from and where we are going to, I think that we are doing our best, and we need to let the government understand the role they are supposed to play in specific areas. Otherwise, we can't get far because that backbone is required.
On the back of this, you also support the idea that the minister has to speak. You run one of the biggest institutions in this creative space.
So in the year 2022, just Hollywood, their contribution in terms of the value, it's more than Ghana's GDP. Hollywood, which is just a subsector of the creative industry in America, they are the value of that particular Hollywood in 2022 was higher than Ghana's GDP.
That's a lot.
Exactly. You understand? And it's billions, not because Ghana is like 73 billion and Hollywood is like 90 something. Let me even. Yeah, I just want to be. It's what 93 billion.
93. That's
that in the year 2002, 2022. Sorry, you understand? So what I'm saying is, if we haven't discovered the gem and the gold associated with the movie industry, let's not speak down about it. We were here, no, like this, like that. It's not like the position. It wasn't like. Let me put it this way: we were here and we saw tourism rise all the way to contributing to its contribution to becoming number 3 when it comes to the GDP. Tourism.
But the feed of the creatives.
You understand? Feeding of the creatives and everything that it came with, the culture, all the elements of culture, etc., etc. So right now, it's number 3 in terms of contribution to GDP. So if for any reason we don't know the value of the movie industry or what it could be or its potential, I think these are areas we need to be able to begin to research into, so that when we understand the potential of the areas that we have, we would also be able to begin to almost develop ways of engineering economic activity to ensure that the kind of returns we are looking for is attained. You understand? So I think that if you look at it from all spheres, we are downplaying a gold mine, and we need to be able to look into it properly. It is an unserious business that provides serious wealth. So for me, it is serious.
And Kay, let me add just to what Robert just said. You see, it's also important that from where we sit, the visions of the creative arts sector is important for us to outline it properly going forward. Because I see that politicians, in their quest to gain office, try to ride on the back of creatives.
No doubt.
No doubt. They ride on our back. Their commercials, their stages, their lights, their sound, their all the things, the paraphernalias, the designs, everything. Or that after we mount on their stages, jump, then they give us stipend, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000. Or that come and wear t-shirts, give you 5,000. Another keep fit. Some of those who are smart, they use us. They call her Akofa, we keep fit. Then they put her in the front. Then they are behind. They jump. Let the people see and shake. So that they try. This is. I mean, I don't know, but they've packaged it nicely, and they've been able to win the heart of our people to their personal agendas. Now, the moment they gain power, then the issue of creative is relegated to the back conversation. The structures Robert is mentioning and the things they are mentioning. The whole, sometimes I get scared when you people are even comparing Ghana and America, all these things. Because these figures you are mentioning, but if you get to Hollywood and everything, the kind of things they are doing there, the way the system is structured and everything there, if Ghana is able to get a quarter of that kind of structure here, it's like, you know what it is to, like, it's a whole thing. But we don't have all these things. And we are still wallowing in poverty, actors, musicians, all of us. We are just, finding our feet and all that kind of thing. And so it kind of casts some kind of doubt and some kind of black darkness on the creative sector. Because even today, if you look at it, from the film industry, check it, to the creative art, to the music industry, plus other areas, where are we standing? To today, if we have a fourth line where we have the creative arts office even well established, they could have taken these matters, such as some of these loose stock, for example, and then together as a body, rally all of us behind to force this man, give him pressure through Parliament for him to apologize quickly. Because if he was a creative art person, you saw what they did to Black Rasta. If he was a creative art person, that went on rampage to say that. They will say, "Will come to privileges committee and then come and answer questions, come and do all that." And they will send you, what they will do for you to come and answer, you'll be shocked, as if you are not even a Ghanaian.
Okay.
But in our case and all that, it looks like Penibi and Ifie, and it's like we are, push on, let's do this. So anybody wakes up, do whatever they want to do with the creatives, and then go scot-free. Nothing happens.
Okay, Doc, we'll move into the next conversation, which is the president and what he said at SONA yesterday. Now, let's take a quick look at this video. When we come back, we'll address some of the issues.
Mr. Speaker, tourism, culture, and creative arts remain vital cornerstones of our national development strategy, playing a significant role in job creation, cultural exchange, and economic growth. In recent years, the ministry has launched transformative initiatives to position Ghana as a premier global destination, and this is positive. These positive initiatives aim to harness the country's rich cultural heritage, natural beauty, and our dynamic creative sector. Our flagship initiative, the Black Star Experience, aims to establish Ghana as the gateway to Africa for the global diaspora, featuring thoughtfully curated cultural, historic, and creative arts experiences in collaboration with the private sector, diplomatic missions, ministries, departments, and agencies. Our aim is to position the Black Star Experience as a uniquely Ghanaian tourism brand. The Pan-African Month will be a part of the Black Star Experience. It will include street carnivals, a film week, a fashion festival, a food fair, theatrical and drama performances, concert party competitions, and monthly domestic tourism destinations. We will strategically promote meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition tourism to diversify our tourism offerings. Ghana's peaceful and democratic environment positions us as an attractive hub for international summits, business conventions, and high-profile gatherings. We must capitalize on this unique advantage to maximize our benefits and strengthen our reputation as the country that is closest to the center of the world. We're also committed to revitalizing the Accra Marine Drive project, a significant urban redevelopment initiative which was designed to transform approximately 241 acres of Accra's coastline into a vibrant tourism and economic hub. Although the cabinet approval for this vital project was achieved during my presidency in 2016, progress has stalled. We will reassess the work completed and take decisive action to bring this all-important project back on track. We will develop the Osu Castle, the former seat of government, and the area around it as a tourist attraction. It will have a pedestrian precinct with arts and craft markets, jewelry, and gold markets. This approximate 22-acre land will become a destination for tourism. Mr. Speaker, our road network is the...
All right, so those are some of the things that he said yesterday at SONA. And because of our time, I'd want us to maybe begin the conversation on the Black Star Experience. Now, Rex Omar has been tasked to actually handle this space. As for the tourism and the diaspora areas, we'll look at it a bit later. But let's look at the Black Star. That's the flagship initiative that we want to put out there. You have been in space where you've seen what, or you've learned about what Nkrumah and JJ and all of those people have done in terms of how they value our image as Black Star as a country. Do you think this is something that is good and it will be able to be achieved if they decide they want to do it?
I think it's good. It's a good initiative. It can be achieved. I think Rex needs to get the right people to support him. You know, the president has only 4 years.
That's the problem.
So I would rather, you know, for things like this, you put your best foot forward. So I am not too sure if Rex is that best foot, honestly. But
you think he can do the job?
He can, but I'm thinking you need somebody who hits the ground running. For, you know, it's a flagship thing.
That's major.
It's major. And so I would rather have used the people who conceived the idea, those who really planned it and have the vision of implementing it. I'd have put such a person in the place.
Any in mind?
And let Rex help that person, you know.
Do you have anyone in mind as such who you think would have handled it way better?
I do, but I don't want to mention names. They are the people who conceived the idea.
But it was believed that it was also part of the process.
He wasn't part
at the time.
No, he wasn't part at all. He wasn't part at all. He doesn't have any idea what it took, those who conceived the idea and brought it up and planned they have to implement.
Are these creative people? And when I say creative, I mean not musicians, but people who are into movie.
Yes, they are creative people.
Because
they were on the manifesto committee. Yes, they finished all that before the Rex came in. So yes, I do wish Rex well. I mean, I'm sure that he will do it. Again, I was hoping, I don't know, something like this. I think that the Commission on Culture should be able to handle this, you know, because there's Commission on Culture. What are they doing? And so all these things that he's you know, talked about, between GTA and the Commission on Culture, they should be handled easy, you know. So creating a whole new office, and A+ is saying that there should be a whole secretariat for the Black Star experience. Well, I beg to differ. I think
it's not because they want to execute it well, because if they are not able to do so, it means that they failed. And this is
so if you have the decks at the Commission on Culture for that person to be there, then you can use all the resources and the people at the commission to help achieve it, instead of creating a whole new secretariat. That'll be extra money you're paying whilst people are there at the commission. There are people there at GTA that, you know, so you just need that strong person to spearhead it and then use the existing institutions to carry out. But I wish Rex all the best.
Very well. Robert?
We are here to support him, so if he calls on us, I'm sure we'll all be there to help. But it's I don't want to go too much into it. I've said enough.
Robert, let me have your take on that.
Quite a broad aspect. Let me know which one.
No, we're sticking to the Black Star experience. I mean, it's their flagship.
Yeah, I mean, from all angles, the Black Star experience is a very good idea. I mean, even in the statement of the president, it started by saying that in recent years, you know, the ministry has been able to project Ghana as a premier destination for the, you know, diaspora, and it's a positive thing. He actually mentioned positive, and so on the back of that, he now mentioned the Black Star experience. We all know that the December year of return, come beyond the return, and then December in GH. Obviously, the activities were happening, and then they now focused on December. And they increased the publicity for it, increased the number of activities, placed it there, and then projected it to a certain extent. And I think that for the most part, on multiple platforms, what we've said was that imagine what is happening in December being experienced throughout the year. You know, so NDC, very fast, sharp, listened to all of these comments, and they said, okay, let's create the Black Star experience and spread the entire experience throughout the year, so that January there's something, February there's something, March there's something. And they took all the components of the arts, or the creative arts, so from culinary experience to literature to fashion, everything, and then placed them, gave each month a theme, so to say, and then found a way to place them, because obviously once you do that, then you are giving life and oxygen to all the elements of the arts within that particular space. And then you spread it across the year. And then you project it again as a tool of tourism, because once you are able to get domestic tourism in terms of people moving about for it, and you are able to get international tourism happening, then it means you are bringing people, they are coming to spend, and then everything else takes place because the ripple effect is going to be felt. So the idea and the concept of, what's the name? Black Star Experience, yes, good. Now he's also mentioned that he wants to position it as the gateway to the diaspora community, essentially. And I find it very interesting that he mentioned the diaspora community. If you check the UN, the numbers for the population size of the diaspora community, there are over 280 million. You understand? 280 million people who are of African descent living out of their home and birthplace. So what it simply means is that that's the kind of target you want to be focusing on. Huge. And if that's a huge target you're focusing on, you're going to play around their culture in terms of where are you from, you don't know your source, this is Ghana, and all of that. And then from there, once they come home, the homecoming experience, then you can focus on everything that they get to bring. These are doctors, these are lawyers, these are people who are well-educated, etc. So they are bringing human resource, you are giving them, citizenship. They get to add to the number of people that we have here. They have connects, global experience, you bring them here, investments, they have money, they have funds, it goes into the economy. We all know what remittances from outside of the country has done to our forex, so these guys are coming to spend here. So it's a beautiful project packaged well, and we need to be able to get to that point where we execute it to the T, to the letter T, cross all the T's and then dot all the I's. I mean, if we're able to do it, I'm sure it's going to, take us to where we're supposed to be. We've seen it already impacting our GDP, coming to number 3. So obviously it's going to take us far. And then you'd realize that quickly in part of the statement, he added what he's going to do to roads.
Yeah.
Exactly. So tourism doesn't just exist on its own. There are other things that ensure that it succeeds. If you don't have peace, there's no way somebody's going to come to your country. So if we are enjoying all the peace and democracy and stuff like that, that's why it's calling for the diversification of our tourism by adding MICE. And that is important. We should be able to do that. And especially because for MICE, we need infrastructure to support it. So the road systems and everything to be able to open up the economy, solid, and they should go heavy into it. I believe that it's a nice idea. What is left now is for execution.
Okay. And speaking about execution, we'll be looking at the individuals that have been put in place to ensure this is executed. And that will run through from the various, from tourism, we'll look at the creative space itself, and then diaspora, which of course KOD is heading that space, Abiku Santana and Ama, who are also heading the GTA. We'll look at those people who have been put in place and see if she disagrees with Rex Omar. We'll look at the others and see. Doc, how do you take on that? And then we'll look at the personalities that have been put there. We don't have much time, but let's see how we can run this.
I think that KMG, the president, is spot on. And I like his spirit and enthusiasm back in the creative art industry. Sitting back, watching for the last 8 years, I think that he has learned. He's learned very detailed.
He's always been a creative type, always enthusiastic about it.
If you see the way he took his time to enumerate the various steps and the bodies, the things, the content in the creative space and the kind of things, the way he wants to partner and do all of them, it's very, very detailed. And it showcases a person who is very much into it and is interested in seeing creative art grow. And that if you have a president who expresses both his body language and administrative language, seems to, focus on the development of the creative art industry. For me, then really the sky is the limit. What I see happening is that, for example, the Black Star
Experience,
for example, now is a big thing. The Black Star Experience is a big thing. I was actually on the point that you should have just actually even focused on the beyond the 10, like what it is, December, look at November, December, New Year, and then package it so that at least we can get its effectiveness. As I was actually looking at that. Because if you spread it throughout the year, you know, it kind of puts, when you're careful, it will put the event off balance, especially with budgetary considerations and all that. And don't forget, all these beautiful ideas the president is mentioning is backed on finances. Both are the...
And I don't mean to cut you, but you said earlier that how much budget do they usually dedicate to us? So if now they are given a budget that covers the whole year,
yeah,
please, let's accept it.
We are
let's not do January,
we are
December and November.
No, yes.
Before you even came in, I was just about to say that
okay, so
the president needs to also collaborate with the private
sector.
Yeah, he did say so.
Yeah.
And diplomatic
so
mission.
that you understand, so that the office of Rex will be at the helm of affairs, and then allowing the private entity around, putting all of us together, and the appointment the president has made actually linked to the Black Star experience.
Which appointment, by the way?
For example, if you look at where Abeku is being placed now,
yeah, deputy CEO.
The deputy CEO now, it means that he's going to have a huge role to play with tourism.
He will be deputizing Mamefua.
All the work is going to be done by Abeku.
Why?
That's what you...
Yeah, because he is Mr. Tourism. Abeku is Mr. Tourism as an individual person. He is Mr. Tourism.
But Mamefua also
the president
she has a great potential.
Hojeto is very... I mean, I know what she can do. She's worked with Robert's office before. And Robert is the best person to tell us who she is. You understand? But I'm sure that she can deliver. But I'm saying that having Abeku in that office is classic. Because at least, if for nothing at all, anybody that knows Abeku is... And from yesterday when the name came out, last night the name came out, you could see that the excitement in the creative space is growing. It's growing bigger. Because knowing that for all that Abeku stands for...
He's got rich experience.
He's got rich experience to back this up.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at KOD. Also at the diaspora. Now, with all his 1957... the runway experiences that killed. I mean, look at the way he, as a person, is able to drive his fashion, the fashion and the runway experience and all that, and bringing, I mean, kind of eyeball to his private organization and the event that he does. If he's able to articulate it to the diaspora aspect and then open it up, it will also open the diaspora aspect of it, and then it's also broaden what Robert was saying. So it's also strategic, putting what if it's a KOD there. As well as Rex, yes. What Rex, I see Rex position to be like maybe commissioner. From where I sit, I see it to be like a commissioner.
That all the others will be in terms of the Black Star experience.
He's going to open his arm and then put all of us together like this and say, guys, this is it. From the movie, from this, from that. Because the moment he doesn't do that and tries to become a self-event planner, then there's going to be a problem. Like what Robert said, because this is big and it will need him to, I mean, cooperate all the various bodies under the creative arts sector and then even add the Commission on Culture. Because like you're saying, if we don't empower the Commission on Culture, it will make that office redundant. What are they going to be in the office doing? So it's important...
That's why Akofa thinks that it could have been easier just making them spearhead and then let every other person support them instead of making people now become like also into another position.
President, we've seen in the past and all that, have not actually made use of state agencies.
And why?
And sometimes it baffles me. Most of the presidents we've had in Ghana have not made use of our state agencies. And the state agencies are struggling. And yet we have people who are in these offices always collecting allowances, traveling for conferences, the biennial conferences, the annual conferences, all of them, and then receiving Social Security. And then they are just there. When you get to the office, somebody has been there 25 years, 30 years, and is still a typist. And you understand? And so some of these things is maybe it's another day conversation for us to look at how we are using some of these state agencies to empower some of these beautiful presidential ideas. But for me, I think that Rex's position is also cardinal.
So everybody that has been put in there has the potential of making
it's a strategic thing.
Because
though, yes, like Auntie Akofa mentioned, though Rex may not be part of the drafting of the manifesto and all that, but I think that if you check, during the campaign, he was actually like the communicator on the Black Star experience.
Yes, but being a communicator
on it,
you see, what I was saying is that, you know, when you have a vision, the way you implement it, because it is your vision, it's your idea, you have the implementation plan, you know exactly what you want to do. It's different from me telling you about it and you now going to do it. It won't be like if I am executing it. There are some secrets and some spices I might not have added when I'm telling you about it, which you will not know to add. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's not capable.
Spearheaded it so that Rex will be...
Would have helped. Yes, that's all I'm saying. So that is putting your best foot forward, because we don't have time. And you want the thing to work and be boom, you know.
But is it not also that maybe these people you're mentioning, or you're not mentioning...
Will also be opted into it.
Could be under a committee that will be supporting Rex? Is not possible?
Well, I don't know what the president is going to do, but... If the main person is there, why are you giving it to somebody else, you know? But, you know, the Black Star experience...
Is this main person ready to take that position? Is this somebody that you think that could have accepted that position?
Yes, they would. The CV was sent to...
Who's this person?
It's called Wakefield, if you want me to mention that.
So we can also research on him.
Yes, on Wakefield Akwaku.
Wakefield Akwaku.
Yes, I think it should have gone. So we sent the CV, everything.
To the president?
Yes, we did.
And the president is aware that's the person who worked on that
I'm sure he is, because I'm sure he does. Anyways, he has the prerogative to choose who he wants. So. Yes,
let me see, Robert.
That's Wakefield. Okay. But the Black Star experience it's a brilliant idea. You know, what I like about it is the job creation aspect that comes with it. You know, because it will create a lot of jobs, and that's what this administration is trying to do, create a lot of jobs, and it will do just that. About the money thing, it's not everything that you're even going to need so much money for. If you plan it well, because let's say it's culinary month, and so all the regions are supposed to showcase, the foods and stuff. So it's not everything that you're going to need money. You call vendors, they'll come and do their food. You're not going to pay them money. So there are a lot of things that it's just the ideas and how to contact the right people and set it up across the country.
Just being strategic about it,
then,
so you don't end up spending money.
Next month, March is supposed... March is Independence and Heritage Month. You know, you're not going to need too much money to do that. It's a matter of probably having a lot of fora, seminar here, there, the schools, telling them about the independence, before independence, post-independence, heritage, what our heritage is, the meaning of heritage. You know, let the students understand so they buy into why they must love their culture, why they should appreciate our heritage, do tours to heritage sites, which will increase domestic tourism, to create jobs for people selling and all that. So the Black Star experience, it's good. It's a good thing that every month there's something going on. There'll be a fashion month, you know, so all these fashion designers across the country setting up spaces to exhibit, and people were buying and all that. It's good. It just has to be implemented well, and I know it will be.
But KMJ, one of my excitement is also with the development of the castle.
Those castle for tourist attraction.
The tourism. For all of us, anyone who travels, you, that goes to UK. If you go to UK, the Buckingham Palace, and you see the tourism aspect that happens at the Buckingham Palace. And I see...
And it's beautiful.
Like, it's morning to the way... And the way people travel just to be at the place. And we're seeing this, our castle. It's been there and it's becoming like a
white horse.
A white horse.
Yes.
And so when I heard the president talk about that, I said, whoa, you are my man on this one. Because for me, that is a huge monument, something to do. it stands for our culture.
Yeah.
It stands for Ghana as well.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of history also in that custom.
And I commend KOD for that. Last year, I think that's what we did.
We did the evidence of the...
I was on model. And
last year, 2 years
I
ago.
got to experience that place.
That was the Akofa Edjeani.
And I got to experience that place very well because when we went for rehearsals, you could see it's a vast land. So many that we can actually do with that place. And I really appreciate him for taking it.
The garden, even the garden.
The garden itself.
The way they made the gardens and all that.
So imagine when it's culinary month, we go enjoy it there. You know, and everybody's coming, and you know.
So that's the man we're talking about. Akofa is mentioning, and could it also be that he was not really part of the campaign at the time? Was he really part of the campaign?
But they were busy doing the manifesto. They wrote all the stuff we are saying in the manifesto. You know, so he's done his bit, and he's a strong NDC guy.
Robert, maybe you have the final word with regards to the individuals that have been put in the position. I have only 2 minutes to do this, Robert.
Yes, so real quickly, I think that for me, when I heard about KODs, I'm like, okay, wow, what a position, because at the end of the day, you look at the personality and you look at the person's CV and you put the two together and all of that is encapsulated.
It's like a best fit.
Yeah, like best fit. The guy is already diaspora oriented and he understands culture and is able to translate into the things we do, and he understands connections and networking and relations and all of that. So I thought this is fantastic. And so I said this on air and I'll say it again. What I really wish him is the blessings and the forces of God to support him completely for success. In terms of the others within the field, yesterday we were having a conversation, and the moment we started mentioning names and of people leading, the first thing one astute person within the space said, all each one of them needs is a team, a good team to execute. Because the truth is, one man never achieves much. It always has to be about who is surrounding you and how they can bring to fruition that which you have thought of. So we have to
there has been our problem, though,
to action, and we need to get the right people to make it happen. So for me, that's about it. Each one of them, wishing them all the best of luck and God's blessings, but they need to get the right team so that the team can execute.
I hope, I don't know, do you know about Tony Batt?
No, please.
Okay, but I hope that somehow they would let him work together with KOD. That would have been really super. Because what Akofa Edjeani, all the tourists, diaspora stuff, this is the guy that was making it work. So it's not like, oh, we say year of return and we're just coming. He lives there, he talks to them, he convinces them why they should come. He did all the legwork. So when you see them coming, when you see them coming, it's not like because we advertise it.
Tony what?
Tony Batt.
Tony Batt.
B-A-R-T.
We'll find out.
He did.
I know Batt.
You know Batt.
I know Batt.
He did so much.
I know Batt.
I mean, like...
he is...
Like the return... Yes, this return thing is all... You know, so really...
They say that if you want to go fast, you go alone.
Yeah.
Go far.
It would be a perfect team if they work together.
Great stuff.
Teamwork
and that's what we're all looking for, teamwork. So those who have been put in position, please do your best and make sure that you put other people in place to do the job for you. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you. My time is up. But we're coming back next week on Monday, right here on Prime Morning. My name is KMJ Rosalind Felly, and I see Edward Golden Girl. Our heart goes out to her again, and also to David Amoa, the entire family. We're laying him to rest this weekend, and so please do come and support us. Leslie, our brother, the technician, camera technician. David is on your screens right now. He passed on. The funeral is tomorrow. So yes, thank you. Yeah, thanks to all of you for watching, and we're back on Monday. My name is KMJ. Please take care of yourselves and each other.